Okay, again, good afternoon. My name is Marie Phillips. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a congregant of Emerging Waters Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community that draws on the shared values of mindful interdependence, authentic curiosity, and courageous love. And you know, I think these values are really a way of flourishing together, which happens to be this month's theme. We welcome you who are joining us in person and you who are joining us online. It is so good to be together today in all the ways that we can. If you are with us in person, where we share space at the United Church of Christ, New Brighton, we are glad you are here. We ask that you wear a name tag in an effort to practice radical hospitality and to build community. Some are available on the welcome table out in the entry area. And now we're going to have a few announcements, and we'll start with Polly first.
Sorry about that. I wasn't quite ready. Hi, I'm Polly, she, her. I'm still really needing my collapsible wagon that I last saw in our new storage room. Please, if you've even seen it, or I'm sure I'm really hoping nobody took it with malice, but I don't think that's what's happened. But if you could spread the word and keep an eye out for it, I really could use it right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Bruce has an announcement.
Thank you. Bruce, he, him. On Tuesday, 23rd of this week, I'm singing in a group called the North Suburban Chorus out of Roseville. And we sing at different high-rises and senior centers. But on Tuesday, we're going to be singing at the Como Park Pavilion. And we've been guaranteed good weather. And I'm a member of the group. I also will be doing a solo, which is going to be of one I think you'll get a kick out of. It's just a fun program. It's all about, well, when you get there, you find out what the theme is. So at 7 o'clock, and usually the parking fills up pretty quick, so we want to get there a little bit early. So hope to see a couple of you. Thank you. Oh, and these are at the front table, these little things here, as a reminder.
Thank you, Bruce. We encourage everyone to take care of your body's needs during the service and engage in ways that help you feel connected. So if you feel the need to stretch or walk around or walk in place or whatever helps you, please feel free to do so. Please sign up. There's a sign-up sheet out there to make coffee and set up or take down or bring treats for coffee time after the service. Thank you. All of July and August is totally open, so please sign up. If you have a pastoral care need, please feel free to reach out to Reverend Krista, who will be back next week. She's back this, okay. She's just not here today. Okay. She'll be here, yeah, okay. Thank you. Newcomers are welcome to all of our programming. You don't need to be a formal member. If you are new to Emerging Waters, please consider signing up to receive the Thursday update, our weekly e-news, which gives details for links for our events. To sign up, you can include your email address on the sign-in sheet at the welcome table and check the box that gives us permission to add you to the mailing list. If you are online, there is a connection card available on our webpage. And this coming Saturday and Sunday, June 27th and 28th, in Loring Park will be the Twin Cities Pride Festival. If you're interested, volunteers are needed to help out at the Minnesota UU Social Justice Alliance, or MooseJaw, to honor the whole humanity of queer folks. There are a few half hour, hour and a half, and 3-hour shifts still open, contact the Moose Jaw office, or there is a clickable link to sign up in last Thursday's update. And this is pretty cool. Generous members and friends of Merging Waters donated $478 in May to Outfront's Safe Harbor program. Thanks for your support for our transgender neighbors. And I have Anna Cleta, also known as Anna, sitting here. So this was going to be something that she was not aware of, but I have a sympathy card and I would like everybody to sign it. Her son-in-law died by suicide. Joining me in today's service in person as co-service leader is Katie Johnson. Bruce, our Director of Music Ministry, is at the piano, and members of the choir, of which I am one, will help us sing the hymns. And I know there are a lot of other good singers here, so please sing loudly. Our volunteer team, tech team, includes Byron Johnson and Brian Hill. Katie Johnson and Janice Sancott create the service slides that you see on the screen, not just today, but for every Sunday. Welcome once again to our service. We hope these Sunday services provide a time of sanctuary, reflection, connection, and joy.
Please feel free to adjust the chairs and seating as needed, and if we need to, we can get a couple more drums. To mark the summer solstice, or the turning of the seasons, which happened before our lifetimes and will continue when we are gone, we will step into a stream of ancient wisdom and create a sacred space through this ritual of calling the directions. As we name each direction, I invite everybody to stand and face that direction as we offer words of invitation to the spirit and wisdom associated with that direction. So please rise if you are interested. And first we invite spirits of the East, which is that way. Spirits of the East, guardians of the sunrise and air, we call to you now. Infuse this circle with clarity, vision, and the gentle light of new beginnings. And next we'll turn to the south, which is towards the highway. Spirits of the south, source of the noonday sun and fire's warmth, we call to you. Ignite our passions, courage, and creativity. Bless our community and growth. And then to the west. Spirits of the west, guardians of the sunset and waters, we call to you. Bring the wisdom of endings, cleansing, and dreams. Carry away what we release. And finally to the north. Spirits of the north, elders of the midnight earth, we call to you. Grant us the gifts of quiet wisdom, ancestral memory, and endurance. Ground us in your strength. And now we'll join together singing our gathering hymn. This is hymn number 73. It's called Chant for the Seasons, and there's a chant, a line, a verse for summer, which we are entering today on the summer solstice. So that is what we will sing. And this talks about the turning of the wheel. We're only going to do the one verse. So you can switch to the lyrics. Yep.
We will light our chalice in person and encourage those of you online to light one at home. Our opening words are, thank you. Our opening words are In This Season of Abundance by Reverend Michelle Collins. Today the sun reaches its highest point, the light its longest stretch, and the living world is fully, gloriously open. The earth does not hesitate at this threshold. It blooms, it buzzes, it gives everything. We gather at this time of turning to celebrate, to give thanks, and to flourish together in this season of abundance. Come, let us worship together.
We'll have another hymn, but I'm going to invite people to join along with drumming with this hymn. And because I don't know if anybody here knows anything about drumming, I'm sure some do, I'm going to introduce you a few drumming basics, and then we can sing another hymn. So I've got several. These are the djembe type drums. A few others out there. If anybody needs one, we can rush down the hall and get some more. But this type of drum, when you play it, you want to tip it forward a little bit, and that does two things. It opens up the bottom so that the sound can reverberate out the bottom, and tipping it forward rather than towards you gives you a better angle for your wrist. So that's step one. I do have a couple of soft mallets out in the middle there. If drumming with your hand is somehow painful or uncomfortable, you can use one of those mallets out there. Then the next thing I'm going to show you is there are I'm just going to show you two of the primary sounds of these drums. One of them is in the center. It's called the bass tone, but the sound is really what you want to know. So when you hit the drum, you want to hit it kind of somewhat quickly and have your hand bounce all the way off, because that's how you're going to get the sound. You don't want to stop it there. And you're going to get a deeper sound in the center and a lighter sound at the edge. So the deep sound you get if you just tap it once is like that. So everyone want to try that? Everybody who has a drum? Okay, awesome. And then the other sound that we get is out here near the edge. And it should sound a little, right? So that is more or less the sum total of your lesson today. And now I'm just going to we're going to go for it. So we're going to play along with the next song, and then we'll have a little bit of a drum circle in the middle of the service, and then we'll do another kind of drum circle to close out the service at the end. So we're just infusing it a little bit in the parts of the service. So the hymn that we're going to be singing, and so if you don't want to play at all, you can take a hymnal and sing along, or you can try and sing and drum at the same time. If you can't, then you'll have to pick one or the other. But we're going to sing hymn number 389, it's called Gathered Here, and it's a pretty simple hymn. Bruce, I didn't talk about this, but we could start by drumming, and then you could join in if you help me get a tempo that you would like. Like that. Okay? So just join in. We're just going to do that center deep tap.
drums.
All right, so now that we are a little bit warmed up with drumming, we'll do something just a little more structured. So what I'm going to do is introduce two rhythms, and I know some of you have taken some of the other rhythm instruments, so you can join in whatever seems to make sense, because you don't have like the two different tones the same way the drums have them. So I'm going to teach two different rhythms, and then it will sing sort of like we'll play sort of like a duet, and we'll have half of the room play one of the rhythms and the other half play the other rhythm. And again, we'll just do that for a little. We just won't add singing into it. I guess I did it reverse. I made you do singing and drumming first. Now we'll just drum. And then after we do that for a little while, to be determined by me, I'm going to count down 4, 3, 2, 1. So when you hear me start counting down, that just means now we're coming to the end. So we'll kind of play the rhythm along up until that's how we'll know when to stop. So, all right, so the two rhythms I was thinking, one of the things that people do with drumming to help remember a rhythm is they'll put words to them. So I thought of some sort of summer treats that we're going to use to remember the rhythms. And I also didn't practice. I should have gotten a head-worn mic, apparently, because I didn't think about this part. So the first one, our first summer treat, is blueberries. And we're going to play that by doing one bass note for the blue and two shorter notes for the berries. So it's going to go, and I'm going to put the microphone down for a second here. All right, you all have that. So the other summer treat is going to be watermelon ice. So that's going to go like this. Now, I think I'm going to divide the room from this side over to the little chest there, and then the other side. It's kind of even, not quite. And this side, you're going to start by playing blueberries. And this side is going to play watermelon ice. So I'm going to start you guys off, and then I'll invite this side to join in, and then again, we'll play for a while, and then I'll count down, and that'll be the time to end. All right, so we'll start here. Thank you. You guys are awesome.
I'd like to start with a quote honoring fathers on Father's Day today. Also, uncles, Kevin. By William Shakespeare, from The Merchant of Venice. It is a wise father that knows his own child. So what is flourishing together? Please listen to some readings and quotes that may help you imagine what it could mean. I'm going to start with grief. I heard some already, and I'm experiencing some, and I know other people are. So, we need to recover our right to ask for help in grief. Otherwise, it will continue to recycle perpetually. Grief has never been private. It has always been communal. Subconsciously, we are awaiting the presence of others before we can feel safe enough to drop to our knees on the holy ground of sorrow. Francis Weller. Some song lyrics by Sarah Morris. We belong to each other. What if I behaved as if this was the truth? What if you did? We know in our better moments that we were not made for isolation. We were made for this, the turned face, the open door, the willingness to say, I see you, and mean it. Flourishing together is harder than it sounds. It asks us to stay when leaving is easier, to listen when speaking feels more urgent, to trust that what we build between us matters, even when the results are slow, and even when the harvest is not what we planted for. Hold us to that harder, better path. Remind us that the flourishing of each person here is bound in the flourishing of all. May we be here for one another and for the conditions in which something good can grow. By Reverend Michelle Collins. A society grows when the old plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. A Greek proverb. This one's a little bit longer, but both Katie and I really like this, but I have condensed it. Reader's Digest version. It's just from a story by Adam Wilson. Back in my early 20s, I heard a story that sounded something like a fairy tale back then. It was about a farm that began with 3 farmers longing to grow food for their neighbors in a place that had largely become impossible due to rising land prices. They talked with a group of interested neighbors about a plan for the possibility of growing food again in that place. The farmers gathered the interested folks in a circle and asked if they would pledge different amounts of money until the budget was covered. It took a few rounds, but they did it. A few years into the project, a woman went to one of the farmers and said that she loved being a part of their farm and community. But she had lost their job, her husband has lost his job, and she'd have to drop out. The farmer said, "I think you could do us, the farmers and the membership, a real service if you came to the meeting and you pledged $0." She had the courage to do that. So what happened? Did they pity her? Could have. Maybe instead they had a felt sense of themselves as people who had the capacity to carry their neighbors, which also meant that they realized they lived among people who had the capacity to carry their friends and neighbors when they might need to pledge $0. Two more. One is very short. There's nobody in this country who got rich on their own. Nobody. You built a factory out there. Good for you. But I want to be clear. You moved your goods to market on the roads the rest of us paid for. You hired workers the rest of us paid for to educate. You were safe in your factory because of police forces and fire forces that paid that the rest of us paid for. Now look, you built a factory and it turned into something terrific. Keep a hunk of it, but part of the underlying social contract is you take a hunk of that and pay forward for the next kid who comes along. Senator Elizabeth Warren. It is written, everywhere hands lie open to catch us when we fall.
Those words, a lot of them come from the Soul Matters packets that we use to shape a lot of our services, and others we found elsewhere. But the theme for June is flourishing together. And then overlaid on that by us for the summer is spiritual practices. So hence we have flourishing together and drumming in the same service, in case that helps. But what we wanted to do now was take a little time and get your thoughts, your response to some of those readings, some of those ideas, and what does it mean to flourish together. So I have a couple of prompts, and then we'll pass the mic around, see what anyone has to say. So some of the things you might respond to. What kinds of things do you imagine when you think of flourishing together? Did any of the quotes or readings speak to you? Are there any barriers that you would identify to flourishing together? Has your flourishing ever been made possible by a stranger? Or can you share an experience of just receiving kindness from a stranger? So please join in singing the hymn number 354, We Laugh, We Cry. If you are so moved to join in with some rhythm instruments, you are welcome to do so. We're not doing it formally for this one. I was thinking to do all of them. Yep. All of them. Yep.
Thank you.